collected by the government. How the liberals spend it, yeah, it brings me discontent because my party told me to. It doesn't seem like I have a brain of my own. Brainwash constituents with anti-liberal tone because my party told me to.
Oh yeah.
Don't you know it's true? All I be doing is pooing on the liberals. I don't give a fuck about the general population. I am old and wrinkly balls. My job isn't to poo on the liberals. They elected a fool, no intellectual observations. They sure are old and wrinkly. Made a statement to prevent the legal weed. Even though my constituents, they love it indeed. But not the elderly who vote me in. I have no clue what it takes to really win. I'm not in touch with reality. My politics promote irrationality. And it's all just so that I can keep my comfy seat. As a member of parliament, yeah, it makes me rage. Use a bitch, motherfucker. What can I say? Using social media influence to try and sway all the good-hearted people to vote your way. Now I'ma come along and ruin your motherfucking day. Have a drink on me, or maybe 20. You get drunk, I get crunk. The alcohol is plenty. I know it's a disease and that it makes you sick. Mozo can suck my Frosty dick. He doing his pooing on the liberals. I don't give a fuck about the general population. I am old and wrinkly balls. My job isn't to poo on the liberals. They elected a fool, no intellectual observations. They sure are old and wrinkly.
Hey yo, what up? Rolling Sparrow, what up, chat? Welcome to the MC Frosty Show. Nanobot, hey yo. What's up, y'all? Hey. Pepe Sylvia, go be with the truckers, or you can't do anything without Vax Pass. Yeah, so I just want to come on and again, what up? Just want to come on and discuss this whole fucking trucker convoy thing. I was listening to the Fabulous Lily. What up? I was listening to some Joe Rogan yesterday. I've been listening to a lot of Joe Rogan. I've been just like consuming content on my little like. I'm kind of taking a little break from streaming, as you can obviously tell. I'm only doing it like once or twice a week. Twisted Tats, what up? I think somebody was in here faking you or something the last stream. I haven't finished the Ariana Marie diss track, just so everybody knows. I will. I'm probably gonna finish it on my own time. I was really high on coke that night, and it's not the beat. I'm fucking happy with the beat. The chorus, the hook, I'm happy with that. I don't know about the other lyrics, so I don't know. It wasn't really the best lyrically or vocally creative session for me. So Troll Op, what up? Where are my papers? Okay, so back to the subject at hand. So yeah, I've been consuming content, but Joe Rogan mentioned he had like a couple Canadians on this week. He had Jordan Peterson, and he also had this Valentine Thomas. She's a Canadian who spearfishes or something. But anyway, so he was mentioning that he mentioned the trucker convoy in his conversation with. When is the next Frostcast? I'm not sure, Lily. Not too sure. I'd like the Frostcasts to, I don't know, be a little different than they are. I mean, they're cool that we can just come in and talk and stuff. I'll probably have like subjects. I'm gonna start like planning it a little bit better and like having subjects to talk about, things like that. I just want to hear people's opinions. I think that's more. I think that'd be better. I don't know. Whatever. But I haven't planned one yet. I things are up in the air right now. Kind of. The beat. I like, but you changed how you're going to sing it. Yeah. Yeah. I say too much in that. I don't need to say as much as I'm saying. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Jordan Peterson is insane. What up, Kip? Wary of Rogan. What a park the park. With or without planning, good. One thing that's been changing in my personal lifestyle is I've been doing a lot less drugs this month, like even weed, even cigarettes. I mean, like I only got one here. So I don't know. I'm like weaning off a bit. I'm planning for the future. It's like fuck shit. Shit's up in the air right now. Like oh fuck. Please, please refrain from racial epithets. Thank you. Even if it's soft A. Thank you. Appreciate it. Just a tad. Checkmate. Okay. I mean, there's a few things coming up here, guys. I'd like to review some clips. I've been watching some politicians. What's interesting to me is all the media, Canadian media coverage. We don't really have like our main news outlets they're all pretty, like, I guess you could call it establishment, but there isn't really like opposing views as there are in the States. Like there isn't like a Fox to the CNN in Canada. I don't find like there's fucking CBC, there's CTV, which is Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, Canadian Television, I think, and Global News. Those are like the three main ones, I believe, in Canada, and they're all pretty much saying the same shit. Joe Rogan, and I think Joe Rogan is just an entertainer, and I don't think I don't know. I don't think there's. I think he's watering himself down a little bit, but like as far as certain topics that he'll talk about, but I don't know. I used to listen to Joe Rogan a lot, and then I stopped, and just lately I've just been checking in. Just to see what's up, whatever. Jordan Peterson insane. Here's what I don't like about Jordan Peterson is that he's not really saying like anything different or new. Like I've literally heard him tell. I think I've heard him tell the same story on Joe Rogan. Like it's like, dude, I don't know. My powers. It's all BS controlled media. Well, yeah. So you have to like look at it with a grain of salt. Like you know what I mean. It is what it is. It's not the only source, like the news sources aren't the only sources of information. There's plenty of information. There's plenty of information on both sides, and you can just go and take that as one opinion. It's not all bullshit. It's our opinions bullshit. It's opinionated. Like it's not like it's based on fact, what they call fact, but what is facts these days even? Like fuck. Magic Munch, what up? Yes, yeah, got scammed. So I'm doing a diss track and whatever. That'll probably be done next week. I'm taking a little more time on it. Yeah, I wasn't too happy with the vocals from the other night, so I'm gonna really work on those. Joe Rogan is a starting point for a lot of people. What up, Hate Goes Here? So what are you guys saying? If the U.S. government shows me or tells me the truth about aliens, unclassified stuff, I'll lie to my own mom and shill the lies till I die, but show me. In 2010, yeah. And I mean, that's... dude, I said a lot of stupid shit in 2002. 2010. I've said stupid shit, like... He wasn't 100 millionaire back then, though, like, or whatever. Or a Big Mac. So... I was checking in on some political stuff today regarding this. So I don't know if, for those who don't know, there's some mandates apparently regarding international trucking. Basically, the truckers have been exempt. They've been part of a group that have been exempt from being required to be vaccinated during the pandemic. Back in November, they did say that they were likely going to change that in January. So it's really weird. It's really fucking weird. Okay, so like basically the rules that are being implemented now is that like. Okay. So, okay. This shit's fucked up to me, okay? And the fact, I don't know. Okay. So there's a bunch of truckers, the truckers, but not the trucking associations. The truckers themselves are against mandates that are affecting their ability to do their job, which is the same as many industries. You know what I mean? Like the health industry, government industries, like anybody who doesn't get vaccinated has basically lost their job or been laid off. Which creates another issue because I don't know if they're eligible for fucking. I don't know if that's a valid reason to get EI. I don't know. I haven't looked into that, but employment insurance, I should say. Free the truckers. So, but here's the interesting thing: is that truckers not being allowed to go into the United States. Okay, is not a Canadian political decision. That's that. So them, and if they do manage to get into the United States, they're allowed to return. However, if they're not vaccinated, they have to go through the quarantine. They have to go through all this shit to get back into the country. But they can't refuse them back into the country if they're Canadian citizens. However, so like all I'm saying is if the truckers are like, yo, I can't do my job because all I do is do shipments to the U.S. Protesting to the Canadian government probably won't change that. I don't think that they're going to change that. Webs Obeezy. Okay, so Web Stinky Pinky. So. Coercion. Oh, okay. So now it's turned into now they're almost like turned into like the freedom fighters for Canada. No other real industry has tried to like stand up against the mandates, the vaccine passports, all mandates like this, and this because there's supposedly going to be so what's happening is all these truckers. Whether they're vaccinated or not, they're coming together just to now be the freedom fighters to like try and end all mandates, to make a protest against ending all mandates. So they've been traveling the Canadian highways, probably the Trans-Canada Highway, and just getting truckers from each area that they go through or something. I don't know. And they're having a big protest in Ottawa on Saturday. I've considered maybe going up there. I'd have to get a phone and shit, but super spreader event, by the way, Omicron. Like, come on now, whoa. Supposedly there's gonna be like 500,000 extra people in Ottawa on Saturday. Or 500,000 people protesting. I don't fucking know. What up, TB Mandate, TB Bishop. What up, Daniel Tryhard. 2 years overdue. Yeah. Well, I mean, you gotta, but okay. So what it's turning into now is a political battle. Now it's turning into a political battle. 50K semis plus passenger vehicles. Yeah, that's something that's what I've been hearing as well. But I've also been hearing that like it's not even close to that amount in reality. You know what I mean? Like, who knows? 50,000 trucks is a fucking lot of trucks, though, bro. That's more people than there are in my city. That's fucking like that'll be interesting. So now, what's been happening is this campaign is being also attacked, obviously politically, right? And what seems to be happening is now they're trying to. This is a word that I heard today. Is that this convoy is being infiltrated by extremists? Extremists. Now I don't know what the fuck the definition of extremists is now. Okay, so when I hear extremist, okay, I think of a terrorist. I think of a fucking. Now, if they are now changing the word extremists to include anti-vax people, that's fucked up. That's fucked up. Non-conformists. Yeah, that's what they're. That's not a fucking extremist. Okay, that's not an extremist. Like are they gonna like dump a fucking truckload of fucking Timbits on the whole, on everybody and like Timbit, like I don't like, I don't know what, like, what's a Canadian extremist? Like like they're not going to apologize after they like argue with you or something. Like, is that like, I don't know what the fuck. Anyway. But they're big time attacking the media. I don't know about the media, but social media is definitely attacking the legitimacy of this protest. Obviously, here let's see what our prime minister has to say about this. Just hold on. Oh, I heard a new Meshuggah track too, "The Abysmal Eye." New album, I think April or something. The FBI even wants to label the group going to school meetings extremists. Does it make sense because vaccinated people can still carry the virus? No, Flat Ronnie, not 50,000 people, 50,000 trailer trucks, 50,000 trucks. I would definitely fill a fucking... Like, you can, how many people can you fit in a fucking semi truck? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Because you have to ask people smugglers in the U.S. or something. I don't know. 500,000 people is the estimate. Who are supposed to come down on this protest. 500,000. But what the interesting thing about this is the amount of trucks that are going to be in downtown Ottawa. 50,000 trucks. Now, like, what if they fucking just leave their trucks there or some shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, that, I don't know. That's going to be interesting. Flat Ronnie, you could be right. It could be BS. I think there's a lot of BS going on. I think there's a lot. Okay, let me just see here. Hold on here. I watch this like okay. Let's watch this. Okay. I want this is what our prime minister is fucking saying here. I don't know if the vocals. Let's see.
Important to underline that close to 90% of truckers in this country are vaccinated.
Because you forced them to be. Let's make that clear. Not like voluntary, but because you're forcing them to be. Okay, let's just make that clear. He's using the fact now that that the government coerced people to get vaccinated against them now. Okay.
Like close to 90% of Canadians. Over the past many...
Like 90% of Canadians, really.
Months and years now, Canadians have stepped up to protect each other, to protect our frontline workers, to protect our elders, to protect our young people, to protect people like truckers who are putting food on our grocery store shelves.
No. Let's again be clear here. People got vaccinated because you implemented policies so they can't make money. They're protecting themselves against poverty. Clearly not against, I mean, like, vaccine efficiency, whatever, or efficacy. No, they're protecting themselves against bankruptcy.
Canadians have stepped up to do the right thing to protect the freedoms and the rights of Canadians.
Oh, really? Because you said so? Now, this party legalized marijuana, so okay, whatever. They're all right in my books. But and they gave me a shit ton of money because of this pandemic. Okay, so I ain't dissing the Liberal Party. Okay, but this rhetoric is let me just wait. You coerce people into doing something to protect freedom. Is that what you just fucking said? Is that what he just said? He imposed rules to protect freedoms. That's what he just said.
Get back to the things we love to do.
Get back to the things that we love to do that you disallowed people from doing based on old and fat people dying. Oh, sorry. What? Sorry. What?
We know the way through this pandemic is by getting everyone.
We know the way of getting through the pandemic is by getting everyone vaccinated, because that's when we will decide to say the pandemic's over. That's when we will decide to say the pandemic's over. Yeah, you guys, we'll get through it, but you got to just do what we say first. Just
vaccinated. And the overwhelming majority, close to 90% of Canadians have done exactly that.
And nothing's changed, by the way.
Small fringe minority of people who are on their way to Ottawa or who are holding unacceptable views that they're expressing.
Unacceptable views that they're whoa. Unacceptable views? I think they're acceptable in a free speech society.
Do not represent
Rose.
the views of Canadians who have been there for each other, who know that following the science and stepping up to protect each other is the best way to continue to ensure our freedoms, our rights, our values as a country.
You're fucked. You're fucked. You're fucked. That is such... Wow. Okay, so... The science. Okay, so... And I'm sorry, that was like yesterday or today. That was today.
It's important to...
That was today. Well, the 27th. That's fucking whack. Okay. So, okay. Trudeau says fringe minority in trucker convoy don't represent Canadians. How many people in Canada voted in last federal election? Let's just, I'm curious. $18 million. Out of 27 million registered voters. Oh, how many people voted for you? How many people voted Liberal? %33 out of 18 million people. Okay? $6 million people. Okay? So 6 million people in Canada voted for the Liberal Party. And if 10%, which is like best condition of Canadians are not vaccinated, okay? That's what he said. Okay, that's 3.8 million people. So over half the amount of people that voted liberal to put this guy in are unvaccinated. Look, think of it like that. Like that's not that. I mean, the truckers, like the this even the people who voted liberal don't represent Canada. 33% is a minority just of Canadians, just so you know. Like, okay. So now that guy's liberal, right? So let's listen to some conservatives right now. I checked this video out earlier. Expected Des demand a recount and cry about it for 2 years. Okay. Out of all the politicians in Canada that I've seen, this dude, I think, and he's conservative, I don't really care, but this dude, I've heard him, like, he's mouthy. He's got attitude, he's not afraid to say what he says, and like, his name is like Pierre Poilievre or something. Yeah, Pierre Poilievre. He's whatever. I think this dude that I'm about to show would be a good fucking prime minister. I'm just saying. But okay, let's watch this. By the way, this guy right here is Eric Duncan. He's my member of parliament. He's my member of parliament in my local area for Stormont, Dundas, and Glengarry, or South Glengarry or something. So my area is conservative. My electoral district or whatever is conservative, and we've been conservative for a while. And I don't vote, so I don't give a shit. But this guy is our representative. He took over from like the last guy, Guy Lozon, who I made a diss track on, and it was the song that I played at the start. And this guy is, but the next guy that comes, so he's hanging out with the cool guy. But
what do you make of the extreme elements kind of latch onto the truck convoy you supported?
Well, you know what I think is interesting?
This is the guy. I think this guy would be a good fucking prime minister.
Is that when there's a left-wing protest on Parliament Hill, we don't see the Liberal media going through every single name of the people who attends to try and find one person that they can disparage the whole group with. We don't see...
So what's happening there? What he's referring to is that in this trucker convoy, apparently people are like deep diving because I think people have like truckers have actually signed up for this shit and they've raised like millions of dollars through GoFundMe. There's like a Facebook page with like hundreds of thousands of people that got banned, and then now it's back. But so what's happening is they're finding the bad apples in the group. And then I believe that they're exploiting that to make the whole group, the whole trucker convoy look bad. That's what's going on right now. So that's what he's commenting on.
CBC, for example, has been accused by its own employees of systemic racism. And yet we don't see the media here generalize that everyone who works at the CBC is a racist. Whenever you have 5,000 or 10,000 people who are part of any group, you're bound to have a number who have or say unacceptable things. And they should be individually responsible for the things they say and do. But that doesn't mean we disparage thousands of hardworking, law-abiding, and peaceful truckers who quite frankly have kept all of you alive the last 2 years by filling your grocery shelves with the food that you eat and filling your homes with the products that you rely upon. So I think that it is possible to hold individually responsible anyone who says or does anything unacceptable while showing support for the hardworking, law-abiding, peace-loving truckers who are fighting for their freedom and their livelihoods, and on whom we have depended for our very existence over the last 2 years.
Est-ce que ça vous dérange justement que ces gens-là, ces extrémistes-là, se rallient un peu à la cause qui est noble selon vous?
Pardon?
Ça vous dérange-tu que ces gens-là, ces extrémistes-là, se rallient un peu à cette cause-là que vous jugez noble?
Mais je vous donne un exemple. Vous autres dans les médias, mon
Okay, so he's like talking French now. We don't need to. Okay, so here's another guy. So these are all conservative. What's happening right now is the Conservative Party is having a caucus, or they just had a caucus, and they're talking about their plans for the next election, I believe, and whatever. This guy. So the way it works in Canada is that, like, if this guy was going to be prime minister, he would have to first be elected as the leader of the Conservative Party. So they have an internal election amongst their representatives, amongst their members, and then he would have to be elected. He'd have to take over from the O'Toole guy who's running things right now. And then if they win a majority of the electoral districts, or the whatever they're called, ridings, then their party would be the party in power, and their leader automatically becomes prime minister. Doesn't work. It's not the exact same as the United States. It's very similar in a way, but nobody actually votes for the prime minister. No citizens actually vote for the prime minister. They vote for their local member of parliament for whatever party they would like to have in power. Why are we watching weird vids? Oh, I'm just commenting on the trucker convoy. There's like a big protest in Canada happening on Saturday. No, this is like just today. Them coming out of their offices and news reporters fucking.
A lot going on with the flooding.
Right. So this guy's from BC where there's flooding.
Sure we get the dike infrastructure. Support for farmers. There is so much happening in my province, and we gotta keep our focus on that.
TV Bishop.
You guys have a great day, and I wish you a wonderful evening
today. Do you think this settles questions about Mr. O'Toole's leadership?
Well, the meeting's still going on, and things are looking good, and we got a lot of work to do. We have barely had any parliament in 6 months. We got to get focused on the things that Canadians care about, right? Like we got to talk about inflation, the cost of housing. Man, like my assessment in my neighborhood in Abbotsford went up 46%. How does a young graduate afford a house today? How does someone that makes a 6-figure income afford a house today? Right. The Canadian dream is being taken away by a lot of young people. And if Parliament's not focused on that, I think we're going to be debating C8 next week. That's what all Canadians want us to be talking about. How the government spending, a third of which outlined by the Parliamentary Budget Officer, has nothing to do with COVID. What's the impact on our long-term finances and the well-being of Canadians who are going to be left to pay that debt in the future? Those are the questions that need to be answered right now, and that's what the Conservative Party's focusing on.
And obviously, top of mind, the protest this weekend. Any thoughts on that, sir?
I will say one thing about the protest.
All right, here we go.
You know, Canadians don't know where to turn right now. And I think the Ottawa media, the establishment media, has been looking for controversies with some of these truckers. They're trying to find all the bad things that someone might have said on social media. But you know what? There's a lot of people that are coming to Ottawa who don't know what else to do because their lives have been impacted just as much as mine and yours the last 2 years. And they're trying to find a constructive way to let people know, hey, I'm not okay with what's happening. I'm not okay with everything the government's doing. And you know what? If they want to drive across the country, I think that's actually a really healthy way to demonstrate what you feel about something. And that should be encouraged.
Absolutely, but are you concerned in any way about more extremist elements who are attempting to hijack that legitimate protest?
More extremist elements. That's where I was like, what? What? The news guy is asking, like, extremist elements. What the fuck are you talking about?
Is that not cause for any concern?
Well, you know what? That's something that is a part of any protest movement.
But we don't normally get death threats, sir.
Well, I can tell you, I didn't normally get death threats until I became a member of Parliament.
Right. But is that normal? Does that constitute normal today? Is that acceptable in your view?
They're calling death threats extremist activity. Okay, I can somewhat agree with that. But this guy, he's like, it's just part of the job, guys. People on the internet death threat all the time. Like, that's just the world we live in. I was cool until I got voted in and fucking, then everybody wanted to kill me. I thought I was loved, but no, it turns out people want to kill me.
It's a good question. What constitutes normal today? All I can say is
What
that
up,
the large majority of people coming here are coming trying to find a constructive way to let their voices be heard, and we need to focus on that. And I trust all of our public authorities here in Ottawa are going to take all the necessary precautions to make sure that it's peaceful. And I know the organizers want to have a peaceful protest too. Thank you, guys.
I'm just saying, for those who don't know Ottawa, like, this is what I foresee. See these streets, the streets of this guy, those are going to be full of, like, any streets that trucks are going to be allowed to drive on. They're going to be full of fucking truckers around the fucking Parliament building. People involved calling for this to be a repeat of January 6th. We're Canadian though, right, Dusty Lee? Really, like, we would ask the security guards, can we enter the Parliament there? We're doing a little protest, and they'll be like, no, that's illegal. And then the Canadians will be like, okay, we'll stay back here, we'll just chill. Yeah, where's the Timbits at? Where's some need a double, triple maybe today. I'm not sure.
Are going to take all the necessary precautions to make sure that it's peaceful, and I know the organizers want to have a peaceful protest too. Thank you, guys.
Are you satisfied with what you heard today?
See, I can't even tell if she's hot. Like, her hair's nice.
Yeah, I guess.
Take off the mask. You're outside.
We have a good meeting. I have to leave a little early. It's still going on, but
do you think this is enough to settle kind of the internal challenges that he's facing?
You know what? We've got a good, strong caucus.
That's why I hate the face masks. Like,
What are you trying to do?
I mean, you can't look at beautiful people when you're outside, like, or inside, please. I'm like, fucking, I didn't even hear what she said. She's a squirter. I don't know. I think she's a conservative politician. So there are people calling for it to be like, there'll probably be military there. I would imagine there's going to be military and RCMP at this protest. Like, the population of Ottawa is like 1 million people if you count all the fucking cities around it, like Canada, Nepean, Gloucester, Cumberland. Actually, does it go to Cumberland? I'm not sure. And they're saying 500,000 people are going to be protesting for this. So that's a lot. That's a lot for Ottawa. That's a lot for Canada. You know what I mean? I think that's over 1% of the population. There's they're predicting more people to be protesting this than people who have died in Canada from protests from COVID. You know what I mean? Like, if we take the two extremes of the matter, like, like, if the dead people could still vote, all the dead people could still vote. They'd be like for the COVID mandates, right? But if you take, the people protesting the mandates, that's more people than like the worst case condition of the COVID consequences that can happen. Martin Chev. So what's happening right now in Canada is there due to mandates that are affecting a lot of industries, actually, but specifically truckers. Even though most of them are supposedly vaccinated, the trucking industry, not the organizations, like not the Canadian Trucking Alliance or whatever, I don't know, but the actual truckers are like taking the role of the main freedom fighters against these mandates. They've been exempt from cross-border mandates up until like 2 weeks ago or something, and now apparently it's putting a bunch of them out of work, which is the same with the health industry. Like, there's a lot of people in my not a lot, but some workers at my local hospital and stuff like that got laid off because they refused to get vaccinated. So there's a lot of truckers apparently. So they're saying 50,000 trucks are going to be showing up in Ottawa semi-trucks are going to be showing up in Ottawa tomorrow. Or, well, not tomorrow, on Saturday for the protest. So it's a convoy that's been traveling across probably the Trans-Canada Highway or whatever. And yes, Dusty, that's what I made. That's the like the weird thing about this. I find is that there's U.S. politics involved in this as well, involved in crossing the border. And no matter how much protest you do to the Canadian government, I don't think that's going to result in the U.S. changing their cross-border policies, right? Joe Shipley. What about the food? Okay. So what I'm hearing is it's I don't know. I've seen a few things that are a shortage when I go to Walmart to get my fucking groceries. Like one day I couldn't buy any chicken breasts, so I bought beef. Shit. One day there was no margarine, like no regular margarine, whatever. So I bought olive oil margarine. Around Christmas, it was $8. There was no regular eggs. It was $8 for a fucking omega-3 fucking pack or something like that. So I bought them. I shelled out the extra $3, $4 for that week. It's been I don't know. No, not beef breast. Just tube of beef tube. You can shape it in a breast. Half pork. I don't know, beef breast. Yeah, 2 meat, exactly. So, I mean, we can check. Oh, guys, one thing. I watched a really good movie the other day. If anybody's seen the movie Uncut Gems with Adam Sandler, directed by the Safdie brothers, who've done some pretty cool movies. I've been watching it, but anybody who hasn't seen Uncut Gems with Adam Sandler, I highly recommend this movie. It was a really good one. And like in the past, I don't really enjoy like Adam Sandler's dramatic movies. I don't, because I'm always just like, it's hard to take him seriously. You know what I mean? In some stuff. I mean, the romantic comedies, whatever, okay. But this movie, fucking, and the whole time I'm watching it, I'm like, oh, like I had this feeling like, oh no, the whole time. And I was like, whoa, really good movie. Imagine buying chicken. I'm sorry, we're not all chicken farmers like Flat Ronnie. Yes, some of us do. Some of us do have to, and we don't, slaughter our protein ourselves. So we gotta buy it from the store. Healthy boy, Frosty eating omega. What up, Zoltek? It wasn't a choice of health. It was like I needed some eggs to make breakfast for next week. And they didn't have any of the other ones. It was, but overall, there's still a shit ton of food in the fucking grocery store right now. I haven't seen it, but I haven't done groceries this week. Maybe it's bad or worse this week. I don't know. I'm gonna do groceries tomorrow. I gotta take a piss, and I'm doing laundry and stuff tonight. I just gotta go switch that up. I will agree, Kip. I will agree that those eggs were better. The omega-3 eggs were definitely better. They were like the fucking yolk was like just like deeper. It was like orange almost instead of like a yellowish, I guess. It was more orange. Anyway, they tasted great. There we go. I didn't have any complaints, but it didn't convert me to omega-3 just because like they're twice as expensive. But I mean, if I have to. I'm upset about the price of bacon rising. Personally, it's gone up like, I mean, it went up to $6, bro, at Walmart for a fucking, like, it used to be $4, went up to $6, and I think the last time I went in it was on sale for $5. But I'm just saying, like, that affects me. I eat like 5 packs of bacon a month, or maybe more. I don't know. There goes $10. Fucking inflation. Okay, I gotta take a piss. Give me one moment. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. Just had to switch my laundry up there. Doing the whole shebang. 3 loads. Gets my bed laundry done. Gets my all my clothes done. Okay. Canada sports a deadbeat lifestyle, and this fool's still complaining. If you're referring to socialism, yeah, we're socialists, bro. Like, you know what I mean? We take care of people. I don't even want to say we. They take care of me, you know. Just like Grace Asher, what up? So just to recap. So we've got the liberals. So there's a shitload of truckers protesting all the mandates. They're right now being presented as the freedom fighters. against this oppressive mandate system. Okay. Which we have the liberals who are in control, saying that the mandates are in place to get to the rules, and the mandates are in place to give Canadians their freedoms and rights back. That doesn't even make sense. And then we have the conservatives, which would be like the Republicans in the States, basically saying, supporting the truckers. What they want is people working. The conservatives want people working. They're all about supporting Canadian workers and blue collar shit, I guess. I don't know. China number one. So what I'm wondering, I honestly can't remember a protest that's ever worked in Canada. Like, I don't even barely hear about protests. But the last protests I remember hearing about were like native reserves protesting like pipelines and shit. I don't even think those worked. So I'd be interested to know what you guys think what's gonna happen with this. Like, what is going to happen from this protest? So the truckers want the end of the mandates, and we have the party in power saying that they don't represent the majority of people in Canada because everybody's vaccinated. Everybody got vaccinated, so they're cool with the mandates. That's what Justin Trudeau said today. Basically, 90% of the people got the vaccines, so they're cool with the restrictions. You know, they can like, I don't fucking know. So what's going to happen? Is the government going to just flip its script because of this? I don't foresee that. Are they truckers just going to go there and honk their horns all fucking day? Is that what's going to happen? Is this going to be a new Omicron? Is this going to be a new Omicron super spreader event where 1% of the population of the country is in this place, and now 1% of the population is going to, like, I don't fucking know. Burn this system there. No, that's not going to work. Mass extinction. So we do get a lot of people at Parliament for like 420 day on 420 when people can smoke weed. Like, I think before this pandemic, there was still like 100,000 people or something going to the fucking, maybe not even that many, but a bunch of people going to fucking Parliament to smoke weed. That's been going on for a while, but it's going to have to work. So that's another thing. So, like, it's not. So okay. One possibility is maybe the Liberal government is looking to like get back on like retract some of the mandates or something like that. Maybe they need a good reason for that to happen. I don't know. I don't think the protest is going to result in anything, personally. What, you know what I mean? Well, like, in Quebec, which is an hour from me, okay, there's like a 10 p.m. curfew there. Still in effect, I believe. 10 p.m. That's fucking, supposedly, I'd have to verify it, but so that's like a provincial mandate. There's different levels of mandates going on here. There's like federal, which is handling like certain industries like government workers and cross-border travel and all that kind of shit, international travel and all those kind of regulations. And then we have provincial mandates, which, for example, set the capacity limits for venues or public, or like they're the ones who implemented the lockdowns. Municipal or localized health units could also impose localized restrictions, but most situations it's province-wide in Canada. So Quebec has been very vigilant. They have Montreal, which is the second most populous city in Canada. It's an hour from me, and they're very strict. They had some of the worst old folks' homes outbreaks in the early days too. So they take a very, very vigilant approach to protect the elderly. Bitch Alaska is going to jail in Arizona. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that he got sentenced to 30 days. I read the article. And I also read that he's appealing it. I don't know if the appeal has happened. He's apparently been quoted, because he lives in Florida now, right? So he's apparently been quoted as saying that they can't force him to go to jail. I think they can. But we'll see that. Alaska, here we go. They pay people to live in Alaska. They pay people to live in our northern provinces as well. You can get big time tax refunds, like $60 a day or something like that. Tax refunds, something like that, for living in Nunavut and Yukon and Northwest Territories. He won't serve a day for the macing. Maybe not. Maybe not. But that conviction probably won't, regardless of the time he serves or the punishment he gets, just the conviction, unless he gets it overturned, will look bad for his federal case. Oh, speaking of weed, Hate Goes here. I was checking out my my weed site that I buy from occasionally. I can get a half pound for $260 of like AA, like Chocolope, Sativa, and many others. I think that's going to be coming my way at some point. $260 Canadian for a half pound of weed delivered to my house in 3 days. That's fucking beautiful. That's fucking beautiful. That's like $200 Canadian, US, probably even less than that. AA, whatever. It's a step up probably from my homegrown that I've been smoking, and I was still getting me high. So. Yeah, we grew some. We grew like 2 pounds, and we were down to like a quarter pound. And it was actually my roommate's weed, so she just took the quarter pounder to herself. I've probably smoked like 6 to 7 ounces out of it. I haven't paid for weed in the last fucking 3 months. So I'll probably just get a half pound at some point. Maybe I can mix and match too. It's a little bit more expensive if I go for quarter pounds, so maybe I don't know. We'll see. I've been reducing my weed smoking though. It's kind of good. I haven't been smoking much. Maybe like once a day, not even. So I went like 2 days without any. My coke usage has gone up this month, but it's kind of a treat. But my stimulant usage is way, like speed or whatever, is way down. I'm weaning off kind of right now. Yeah. I do foresee the end of the pandemic restrictions happening naturally, like when the numbers or the science say it's okay, which is eventual, right? In my opinion. So I don't think it's going to be like right away after this protest, and I don't think this protest is going to have anything to fucking do with it. But eventually, because the UK, they stopped theirs, right? I think other countries are doing it too. Was that a legit site? Hate Goes Here? Legit? I don't know what you mean by legit. It's not a government-run site. It's the same site I bought the DMT off of. I probably shouldn't say it, but legal? Gray area? I don't know. It's a different province. The laws are like mail order marijuana has been going on for a long time in Canada, well before it was legalized in Canada. So like legit, I don't know, like it's not illegal to possess marijuana. Like it's not illegal to possess pounds of marijuana. So I'm not breaking the law, I don't think. Maybe. I don't know. I don't think it's. I think it's still black market. I think it's still considered black market. Canada Post delivers it. You know what I mean? That's the government delivering it, and the government knows about this shit. Like, I don't know. BC buds, yeah. Hate Goes Here. So it's that type of thing. Well, I don't know. Maybe the laws in BC are different. I don't know. So, but yeah, it's not. It's something like that. It's something like that. I don't know the exact legality on that shit. To tell you the truth. I think there's a lot of farmers. in BC, and this company is in BC. And or at least that's where they say they're from. So I don't know. Rub surf dog. Drug out. Recreational isn't legal in your state. Well, and like no marijuana is legal federally, right? In the US, like technically a federal law enforcement organization could charge you for possession of marijuana, right? In any state, technically. Right. And that's why I haven't fought my entry into the US, because I am biding my time for them to make it legal federally. At that point, I believe that because my ban to the U.S. is marijuana related, and like not like it was just because I admitted to a charge that I got of possession, and I believe that will give me a better chance of entering the United States once that happens. So, the trucker convoy. Let's take a look at what's going on here with it. Let's just see if we can get some footage here. Trucker convoy. Okay, so here's it rolling through Toronto, I guess. It's like an hour. So here's what's headed towards Ottawa. Here's a 2-minute one. This is Hamilton. This video was released a few hours ago. Hamilton's like 4 hours from Ottawa. No, maybe more. 6 hours from Ottawa. And like five hours from me. Let's take a look at this. Ninja Genie. Do I stand with the truckers? Protesting to the Canadian government isn't going to change the U.S. government's decision that they can't enter the United States still for not being vaccinated. That's not going to work. So I think that's kind of pointless, but I mean, I agree with people standing up for what they believe in and nonviolently and protesting. I agree with that. Do I really care? I think the pandemic's running its way out anyway. So this is like, at some point they're going to change their policies anyway. But maybe this will. I don't think they're gonna change the federal government. The liberals are already calling them like a fringe group that don't represent Canadians. That's the way the liberals are doing it. Like I don't know. I just hope the pandemic dies down. I hope the strains weaken and we take the same approach that the UK is, and like at some point, people are gonna have to live with it, right? Or something. And if you want to get vaccinated, then do it. I don't agree with mandates personally. But I also don't agree with people who know who they're sick going out into the public and infecting other people. I don't agree with that. Like, I think there's a lot of people who are like, know they're sick, but not like is quarantining and staying home. I think that is like a big problem. And that's like an individual fucking choice there. But anyway, okay, let's watch what's going on here in
We begin tonight with a slowdown on our highways today as a truck convoy
slow down on the highways
made its way through our area, while security forces on Parliament Hill said they're preparing for up to 10,000 protesters this weekend. We estimate around 2,000 people were seen.
So they're saying 10,000 protesters this weekend. So that's a lot different than what the truckers are saying. This is not a national news source, by the way, this one.
When the convoy traveled through Niagara and Hamilton.
The protest began as a pushback against vaccination mandates for truck drivers, but now appears to have expanded into other areas.
Look back in history. Look back in history. I don't know what you mean by that. Willshare, what up? Every 100 years or so. See, this time in our society, I don't know exactly what you're. Oh, you're talking about a pandemic. A pandemic, yeah. Yeah. I don't know. 5 more years.
A convoy of truckers arrived in Hamilton this morning to crowds of supporters lining Centennial Parkway and neighboring streets. Organizers have called it the Freedom Convoy.
I'm here to
support
freedom and the freedom to choose.
Because I believe we have to protect our rights as citizens. This isn't about a vaccine or no vaccine. It's about what we're able to do every day.
The movement started out as a way to protest Canada's new rule.
Says a non-worker? I'm self-employed, homie.
Can't cross the border without quarantine.
Fuck, thing I'm doing right now.
Supporters here today say truckers have been doing essential work this entire pandemic and
it's called entertaining.
Now for not wanting the vaccine.
These guys are sitting in their trucks bringing us food. They've been doing it the whole time, and they're trying to stop them now. Or at least stop a small percentage of them.
at least stop it. They're trying to stop all of them, or at least a small percentage of them.
Already vaccinated, but supporters here today say this movement has grown into something more.
Yes, I thank you for that, Joe Shipley.
The pandemic, the government shut down and said the vaccines were our way out of here. We're over 80% vaccinated in this province. I think over 90. You know, we're gonna have to get boosters.
It's our body, our choice. It shouldn't be forced upon anyone, right? It's not an all or nothing package deal.
With all these mandates to work, we can't go freely to shop, to eat. It's ridiculous.
That's a provincial. Okay, so you see what's going on here? You see what's going on here? That specific person was mixing provincial regulations with federal regulations. So this trucker convoy, just to be specific, is opposing federal regulations. Okay? Which specifically affect the trucking industry, okay? But the provincial ones are actually way stricter, way fucking stricter. That's what she was referring to. So again, kind of like how protesting these mandates is not going to change the U.S. government's policies, right, to enter the United States. So those truckers are fucked either way. If these truckers are opposing provincial mandates going to, for Ontario specifically, Ontario's conservative. Federal government is liberal. You're not gonna sway the province by going to the federal government. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Doug Ford's gonna be like, holy fuck, there was a lot of truckers here. Maybe we should ease up on them, on the fucking things. Maybe, you know, we'll see.
Fort Erie, where a smaller crowd of supporters cheered them on. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has called the truck convoy that's making its way to Ottawa a small fringe minority of people who hold unacceptable views. The Canadian Trucking Alliance also releasing a statement against these protests.
Creating the divide between two different types of people when we've always been together as one, and now it's just complete separation, and it's devastating.
The truck demonstration in Ottawa is planned for Saturday. Kelly Botello, CHCH News.
Okay, so that's Hamilton. Here's CBC. Here's CBC.
It started before the sun was up. First in the east.
There's no hate speech. There's no we and they. There's no vax and anti-vax. It's the freedom to choose our own destiny.
Truckers came from Prince Edward Island and Newfoundland, gathering first in Nova Scotia. Only around a dozen.
Oh, this is coming from the east. This is the other one.
Support them.
So Hamilton's west. Hamilton. The previous clip was Hamilton, which is west of Ottawa. There's also truckers coming from the east of Canada, so from our eastern provinces like Nova Scotia, Newfoundland, Prince Edward Island is pretty small, but New Brunswick, Quebec. Quebec isn't considered an eastern province, but it is east of Ottawa.
They picked up more in New Brunswick before heading to Ontario. It began as a protest supporting truckers against vaccine mandates.
Oh,
it started that way.
I wasn't expecting.
It started that way until the truckers realized, oh shit, it's not all Canadian rules that are affecting our ability to work. But okay.
So many people.
That's led to a warning in the nation's capital. In an email obtained by CBC News, the Sergeant-at-Arms responsible for parliamentary security told MPs protesters might show up at their homes. This is known as doxing, a process of finding and publishing personal information about a particular individual on the internet.
What?
Usually with malicious intent, he wrote.
Everybody has their own reasons.
What was that? They threw in a fucking military dude right in the middle. Oh, what the hell did they just say? Can I even read this? A demonstration led by Freedom Convoy 2022 is expected to take place in the surrounding areas of Parliament Hill starting on Friday, January 28th. That's today. Well, the day upcoming. Okay. News outlets have indicated that demonstrations may also take place at members' constituency offices or residences within the National Capital Region. Solicitations were issued to the online community for members' residential addresses in the Ottawa-Gatineau area. So Gatineau is in Quebec, but it's across the river. It used to be called Hull. Hull, maybe it's still called Hull. I don't know. Hull, Gatineau, Ottawa. So that's the Quebec portion of the Ottawa, I guess, greater fucking metropolitan area or whatever. This is known as doxing, a process of finding and publishing personal information about a particular individual on the internet, usually with malicious intent. Usually. Most social media platforms such as Twitter, Facebook, Instagram do not allow doxing under their terms of service community guidelines and therefore remove such solicitations when identified or reported. Best practices. We would like to take this opportunity to remind you of security best practices should a demonstration arise at your constituency office or at your residence. Do not get involved and go somewhere safe. Avoid physical altercations, even if provoked. Close and lock all exterior doors. Advise the local authorities of any demonstration and, once it is safe to do so, notify the Office of the Sergeant at Arms at Corporate Security, as the situation could have an impact on Parliament Hill or other constituency offices. Refrain from posting anything related to the demonstration on social media. Don't publicize it. Don't give them any attention. That's what they want. So that's what that's saying. If the situation becomes volatile and your security is at risk, call 911 and consider evacuating your location. Holy fuck. Situation monitoring. Rest assured that our security partners, including the RCMP, the local police, and the Parliamentary Protective Service, I never heard of that, will be monitoring the situation closely. As a reminder, any individual or group of individuals who do not hinder vehicular traffic, hinder vehicular traffic or trespass on your property have the right to demonstrate. So they're allowed to be out there. However, should the situation escalate, the police will take action. Security resources. For more information on emergency procedures, blah, 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 blah. So it's just...
This is known as doxing, a process of finding and publishing personal information about a particular individual on the internet, usually with malicious intent, he wrote.
Everybody has their own reasons why they're here, whether it's, to get rid of mandates, whether it's for freedom, whatever it is.
The Canadian Trucking Alliance says it is opposed to the convoy, but support is growing across the country and online.
Sorry, I had it on 480p
$6 million
earlier.
and counting has been raised. GoFundMe was holding it back until organizers could produce a plan, but today released $1 million to cover fuel costs.
Wow.
So it's awesome. It, by God, it's bringing a lot of people together.
Wow. So that's interesting. That's interesting. That's probably more like public donations than any of the political parties raised during their campaigns. I'm just going to guess. That's just an assumption. That's not fact. That's a lot of money.
Unity is what we need in this country.
Ottawa police say they are preparing, but they don't know how many protesters might show up or how long they might stay.
Saturday, until everyone leaves there, I'll be there. I'm stacked. I have everything there. I got food, I got water, and I'm going to wait it out.
Demanding the federal government reverse the vaccine mandate. The government says it will not back down. Kayla Hamilton, CBC News.
So,
Halifax.
The convoy is attracting supporters with a wide range.
The government won't back down. Interesting. End of 11. The provincial Conservatives got illegal money, they found out. Interesting. What up, Darren Rockwell? Tank man. So if the government's not going to back down, then I if I was a betting man, if I was a degenerate gambler, I would bet on the government. Just in this, I would bet the government is not going to back down, and that the truckers aren't going to change shit. Okay, but I don't. Okay. So here's the fucking thing. Okay, you guys saw how? Let's take a look. Let's see how many trucks we can just see in these clips. Okay.
Of views, some more extreme than others, including some Americans with massive platforms. Katie Nicholson has that part of the story.
It may have started with some truckers upset by the cross-border vaccine mandate.
Did we just watch this?
But it's morphed into a rallying cry for people with a variety of grievances.
Stop forcing this needle into us. We don't want it. We don't need it.
Ranging from anti-government to anti-mask viewpoints.
Remove the muzzle. The mask doesn't protect against any stupid little virus.
freedom is a repeated refrain.
Viruses
Those who keep tabs on the spread of
can't be
misinformation
smart or
online
stupid, I don't
say
think.
it's a trend.
We're seeing the phrase freedom of expression being used in the context of efforts to fight misinformation. And what they're really doing is they're using these ideologically appealing notions in order to push misinformation.
The Convoy even picking up endorsements from some with huge international platforms who faced criticism for spreading COVID-19 misinformation. Like Elon Musk tweeting, "Canadian truckers rule," and podcaster Joe Rogan.
It's a giant convoy.
Yeah, I saw that yesterday.
Apparently some insane
Or 2
amount
days
of
ago.
people, like 50,000 trucks.
Well, perhaps not that many trucks.
Yeah.
This is really hard to put a number on, but I will say this. There have been claims that there will be 50,000 big rigs, and that's just not viable.
That's
And
just
there's
not
frustration
viable.
from truckers not in the protest.
I have had drivers call me repeatedly today saying that they're frustrated that they can't go about doing their job because the minority is ruling the day on the road.
He says roughly 90% of the trucking industry is fully vaccinated.
This has been hijacked by some people that are not directly related to the trucking industry. And I'd rather say to them, go have your own party and your own protest and let us go about doing our jobs.
The convoy is set to
Isn't that
roll
what's
into
happening?
Ottawa on Saturday.
Larry
Katie
Linksborough.
Nicholson, CBC News, Toronto.
Well, politicians are taking part in the conversation over the convoy, and in the past 48 hours, starkly different messages coming from the federal government and the opposition.
The question is,
As the leader, this
why
is
would Prime Minister
this
Trudeau
is the
not
leader of the federal Conservative Party. So he's the leader of the opposition. So there's the Liberals that are in power. That's Justin Trudeau. And had the Conservatives won the election, this guy would be the Prime Minister.
The convoy itself is becoming a symbol of the fatigue and the division we're seeing in this country.
The small fringe minority of people who are on their way to Ottawa or who are holding unacceptable views.
Unacceptable.
Justin Trudeau has faced criticism for the tone of those comments. Meanwhile, Aaron O'Toole said tonight that he'll meet with some of the truckers in the convoy. Let's bring in Chief Political Correspondent with CBC News, Rosemary Barton.
Okay, I don't care about this. Okay, I'm going to just find more footage of the actual convoy. What up, Kimmy? It's all going to end. UK, Ireland, and a few European countries have dropped the mandates. Exactly, Kimmy. That's the way I see it. So you know what I mean. So I think eventually it's going to happen anyway that they're going to drop the mandates. I've personally not believed that these were going to be permanent. Okay, like the Ontario government has like. Before this Omicron, they were like, we're probably going to drop them in like March to May or something like that. And like even the Vax passport they were talking about dropping. But yeah. So, and don't forget, guys, Canada is still part of the Commonwealth. Like we are like we can't change laws in Canada without the signature of the representative of the Queen, which is our Governor General. We have a representative of the Queen who is non-elected, who's basically assigned or whatever. And none of our shit gets changed federally without that fucking signature. So that's a good sign if the UK, I don't think the Queen actually rules there or whatever. Like they probably have a similar thing there. But anyway, we are sovereign, but we're still part of the Commonwealth. So let me just find some more trucking convoy shit here. It's just interesting how this started as one thing. Like you can't refuse a Canadian. You can't refuse it. Like suppose a trucker went to the States on a shipment. They pass the border. And they come back to Canada. The Canadian government can't refuse them to come back as long as they're a Canadian citizen. So vaccinated or unvaccinated. What they can do is force them to quarantine, though, if they're not vaccinated. V for Vendetta, good movie. USA wants them to quarantine. That's right. There's like, so like, apparently the number of Canadian and American truckers who are actually affected by the policies, which are very similar between Canada and the US for international travel, which these regulations they've been exempt from for the whole pandemic so far, and they knew this was coming since November. But apparently it's like 26,000 truckers are not vaccinated out of like 160,000 if you count all the truckers in Canada and the US, something like that. So here's another, oh, this is 2 days ago. Premier Kenny. Ottawa police prepare for protest as convoy. Okay, so let's watch this one. Again, this is, see
police
this,
in and around.
See, it's all fucking same shit they're fucking pumping here, the media.
Toronto are warning of traffic disruptions today. A convoy of trucks set to pass through on those major 400 series highways around 12 noon. The truckers are driving from Windsor to Ottawa to meet up with a main convoy of anti-vaccine mandate protesters who are traveling all the way from British Columbia and picking up participants along the way. That main
anti-vaccine mandate
will continue its journey across northern Ontario today as it too nears the nation's capital. The demonstration began as a protest against the federal government's vaccine mandate for truckers who enter Canada from the U.S.
Who wrote the national anthem? No idea.
It's grown into a larger movement. The protesters are still calling for that mandate to be dropped. Although,
Kimmy, I'd have to say, I'd have to say there's already a cyber pandemic going on. It's called social media.
And unvaccinated truckers from entering that country. Police are concerned, though, some of the demonstrators may have different, perhaps more extreme goals, and they are already preparing for this weekend's protest on Parliament Hill. Travis Danraj has more on that.
Look up the channel of Convoy. It's live all the time. Find it, fix it.
Pass through Thunder Bay with sights set on Ottawa. Supporters greeting them along the way again.
We believe that the mandates, the blanket mandates, go against our human rights.
Blanket mandates.
For the first time, the Prime Minister weighed in directly on the convoy, saying 90% of truckers are vaccinated. As for the protesters,
small fringe minority of people who are on their way to Ottawa or who are holding unacceptable views that they're expressing.
Here's the thing, guys. The Liberal government is all about minorities. You know what I'm saying? They're minority rights. So it's interesting to hear this fucking language.
Do not represent the views of Canadians who have been there for each other.
Ottawa police are taking the lead on security Saturday, prepping for thousands to descend on Parliament Hill.
What started out as a single expression of demonstration through what was called a freedom convoy involving vehicles from across Canada over the last several days, and particularly in the last 24 hours, has changed substantially.
There is increasing concern about violent online rhetoric supporting the convoy, and that those with extreme views are planning on attending. Pat King is in the convoy and claims to be an organizer. He is known for his far-right views and using homophobic and racist language.
So that's what that other politician, the Poliveri guy that I showed earlier, who's outside the caucus meeting or whatever. I mean, it's like the media is picking out these individuals, and now they're and individual beliefs, and now attaching it to the entire protest. That's what they're doing with this.
In the past, other convoy leaders are now distancing themselves from King.
100% that it's had to be done due to the PR. It had to be done. It had to. So it is what it is.
We're at Mystery School.
Anti-hate groups are concerned about what this weekend could bring.
There have been enough people.
Yeehaw for Canada, guys. Canada.
Relate to the idea that, well, Canada will have our January 6th event. The majority of the people involved in this protest probably want nothing to do with that.
NDP leader Jagmeet Singh said in a statement the convoy is dangerous. This after CBC News confirmed his brother-in-law donated $13,000 to the cause.
Oh my God.
Says it was
holy deep dive. Bro, your brother donated $13,000 to them, bro. How? Wow. He must be pissed at his brother right now. There are literally people going through every fucking donator and deep diving them. Who the fuck has time for that shit? What the fuck?
Was a mistake, and he's now trying to get the money back.
Oh, it was a mistake?
Just published. Aaron O'Toole
says he supports truckers,
but denounced extremists. Urging Canadians to respect. For CBC News confirmed his brother-in-law donated $13,000 to the cause. The NDP says it was a mistake, and he's now trying to get the money back. In an op-ed just published, Aaron O'Toole says he supports truckers, but denounced extremists, urging Canadians to respect each other's right to protest. It's unclear how many protesters will actually show up this weekend or how long they'll stay in Ottawa. But police say no matter the circumstance, they will be ready. RCMP, Parliamentary Protective Service, and also the Ottawa Police are setting up a joint operations center to monitor that main protest and also any possible counter demonstrations that could pop up.
Counter demonstrations?
CBC News,
oh,
Ottawa.
Okay. So do you guys remember, like, I don't get into this political shit too much, but a few months ago, I did a stream on, there was an article in one of the Ottawa newspapers about how military run like social media operations to establish, to do whatever. So how do we know that's not happening right fucking now? I don't know. It sounds to me like they're setting it up like for actors potentially, you know what I mean? The media is setting it up for shit to go wrong on this, and you know what I mean? They've set the stage for you know, a Canadian January 6th or whatever. If you know what I mean, they're the ones advertising it. They're the ones like putting that idea in people's minds. You know what I mean? If that was an actual concern, why the fuck would you be talking about it? Is my fucking. I think this is going to be interesting. I don't think anything is going to result from this protest, personally, unless the truckers just park their trucks in downtown Ottawa and leave them there. Like, that's going to be a problem, I think. It depends how many, like, how long is a, no, Flat Ronnie, I'm not stalling on that. I slept the whole day after. I only listened to the song once. Right before I came on stream, I listened to it just because I was setting up my software and stuff. I don't like a lot of the vocal stuff I was doing. The hook's okay. It needs more work. I'm happy with the beat. But I think I was saying too much. I don't need to say as much as I was saying, but we'll see. They probably have military on the way. Oh, well, yeah. I mean, the Department of Defense is Department of National Defense, I should say, D&D. They're in Ottawa. They train in Ottawa, like our like some of our elite squads and shit like that. So there will definitely be military there. But if shit goes down, who's gonna be instigating it. You know what I mean? Oh, Twisted Lady. That's fine, Joe Shipley. I don't know. Remember I paid a porn star $1,000? Yeah, I do remember. Okay, so it can lock down Ottawa with 50K. Yeah, I don't know if there's gonna be 50K trucks there, but how long is a fucking how long is a semi truck? How long is a semi tractor trailer? $48 to 53 feet. Okay. So if we do the math, because I like math, let's just do it at the low end. 48 times 50,000. That's so 2,400,000 feet at the of and how many miles is that? How many feet are in a mile? Or a kilometer? We'll just go by miles. 5,280. $454 miles. And if we divide that by 5, if it was just 10,000 trucks, 90 miles. Okay, if 10,000 trucks show up, 90 miles. Okay. Let's say, how many miles of road are in Ottawa, Ontario? How many roads are in Ottawa? Oh, 6,000 kilometers of roads in Ottawa. The whole city. What's the square root of 454? So we can get the square mileage of that. 22. 22 square miles of trucks. Nobody cares about Canada. Well, Elon Musk said Canadian truckers rule. Joe Rogan talked about it yesterday, or 2 days ago. So it must be important. But literally, I don't know. We're going to see. So that's what's going on, guys. So my point of view is that this protest will not change any truckers' ability to enter the United States. Okay. Secondly, I don't believe that this trucker convoy is going to result in the Liberal majority government changing anything. Thirdly, I don't think this federal protest is going to change any provincial government's policies on mandates. And I think a lot of truckers are going to get charged for blocking the fucking road. I think they'll probably eat that charge, but you can't like just block the road. Now, Canada just implemented some laws as well where you can't block hospitals, you can't, shit like that or something like that. You definitely can't harass people, like doctors and patients and stuff outside of hospitals or something. I don't know. I think this is going to be a shitstorm personally, but I don't think it's going to result in anything. And I think the mandates will eventually die down. They'll be removed when the pandemic dies down, which is going to happen at some point, or when the strains become weaker or something. I don't know. But I think there's like a small chance that some real shit is going to go down. Like very small chance that it could get violent. I'd say it's a very low chance. But like, if the truckers just park, Ottawa's, you know what I mean, going to be fucked. Biggest tailgate party. Need emergency vehicle access. Yeah. So that's going to be interesting. So otherwise, what? They're just going to be driving around? Like that would be the smartest thing. They just keep driving around in like a big fucking, in like, you know, just don't stop. Because fucking, but if that happens, I think the organizers of this campaign are going to are going to face charges, are going to face some, you know what I mean? I don't know. This is interesting. It's interesting. Do Canadian police have guns? Yes, we do. They carry mace, I believe, as well. They carry taser guns usually. I'm a real American. Yeah. Joe Rogan and Elon are in cahoots. Yeah, it's interesting. What's the other option? The other option is that it does work. It's either going to work or not going to work, right? There's only two possibilities. So let's say, you know, what they would they would literally need 500,000 people out there to have a chance to change the government, but they're not going to fucking. I've never heard of the government changing their mind based on a protest in Canada. Any other Canadians out there? Have you guys heard of any policies that like? I don't know. Bunch of bud, nice. Yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to review that with you guys. For those who didn't know what's going on with the trucker convoy, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to see. Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? It would be a great sign for democracy if it does work. If it does work, this, you know what I mean? I don't know. And I mean, I don't think we have it as bad as some other places in the world where they're protesting. Like, I don't think it's as bad here. It's not even as bad in Ontario as it is in Quebec, like the province over. But like Australia has got it pretty bad, I think, or so I've heard. I don't know. It's just, this whole situation is fucking weird. But I mean, maybe best chances will like affect their future decision making, and they'll consider it. But you have the Liberal Party saying, yeah, these guys don't matter. They're just a minority. They're just a minority. These guys who are fighting for freedom. They're just a minority of Canadians. Everybody else is compliant. They don't. 90% of Canadians don't want freedom. That's basically, if you paraphrase what Justin Trudeau was saying in his fucking shit. Clearly, because they followed us already. They did what we said already. So they clearly don't want what you guys are saying. No, that's not the way it works, man. Do another episode on the truckers. They should lay down spike strips for content. I should? No, dude, I involve. I mean, like, it might be cool for me to go up there, but I'd have to like grab a cell phone tomorrow. And I'd have to fucking find a ride up there. And I just don't want to go under contract right now I don't even know if I'm going to go under contract. I might buy a new phone outright and then just go month to month. I don't know. We'll see. You never knew Canadians existed. Yeah, I know. We just stay in our. Oh, thank you for subscribing, Masha Bez Familia. All we're really known is for like keeping the peace and then bombing Syria and shit around the world. You know, our air force is pretty tight. We have our JTF-2 Princess Patricia's Light Infantry Princess. I don't know, something like that. You don't fuck with those guys. So yeah. I bet you Timbits are gonna. Tim Hortons is like, come on, truckers, come on, cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. Oh, that GoFund. The guys are $7 million in a GoFundMe. Get all the Timbits out. We're making all the fucking Timbits today. Like Tim Hortons is gonna be fucking busy, bro. I fucking guarantee it. They're cashing in. 500,000 Canadians in one fucking local area. They're like, that's what's going to drive them to stay out there. Like, or what I want to know, because this is a stereotype amongst the trucking industry, is how many of these truckers are going to be all speeded out. You know what I mean? How many of them are going to be fucking methed out? They're like, we're going to protest for 6 days straight. Oh yeah! Holy whew! Like, there's gonna be a lot of burning nostrils. There's gonna be a lot of like, I don't know. But if there's 50,000 trucks there, let's just say, or 10,000, there's got to be at least 500 truckers who are gonna be on fucking speed. There's got to be. That's probably why they're doing this. Because they got like really good trucker beans or something, and they're like, "Yo, dudes, we can change the government, man. We can change the government." That's this whole trucker convoy, guys. I think it's a result of meth. I'm convinced of it now. Actually, that I think about it. Too many. This is the problem with meth. Okay, this is, and I've said this many times before. Is it will allow you to think a really bad idea is a good idea. Okay, that's the biggest problem with meth, and like you'll actually like follow through on that. Like, you know, like thinking that fucking getting us Skype for $1,000 is a great fucking idea. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, that was a great idea at the time. You know, after already jerking off 6 times that day, well, maybe I can get her up again if she fucking is right in front of my face and talking to me or something. But meth or amphetamines or whatever has to have a role in this, unless my perception of truckers is completely wrong and like they somehow phased out all the stimulant use in their profession. I don't fucking speed fast. What? They're gonna have to like set up like rest stops around the city, you know, trucker stops or something. You know what I mean? I don't know. Smelling salts. There is talk that Tim Hortons has actually refused service to truckers due to the convoy. This was posted in their Facebook group, and wow, Dusty Lee. That's like, well, it's good news for Starbucks, but imagine refusing. Like, isn't that discrimination? That's like a human rights violation. That's like a provincial human rights violation. You can't discriminate against somebody because of their beliefs, maybe their job. creed. You know, is that not their creed? Or I don't know. That's they should just shut down in Ottawa then. You know, I mean, they might as well just shut down Tim Hortons. I'm talking about, like, they should just, I can see that making more sense. Like, we're not going to open any stores in Ottawa while this protest is going on. We don't want it. And then what's that going to do? What's that going to do? The meth dealers are going to be uniting on the streets of Ottawa this fucking weekend. They're like, can't get you got a fucking caffeine, need a caffeine fix there, bud? Well, I ain't Tim Hortons, but you heard of Heisenberg? You heard of Heisenberg? Yeah. Heard of Tina? Tina Horton? Yeah. She's real good. How much you pay for your extra large triple $3? Here. Take this. You'll be good for 10 hours. Imagine not making money off this. Yeah, I know. Did you guys hear about Neil Young? I mean, I talked about it, but Neil Young requested to have his music taken off of Spotify in protest of Joe Rogan spreading disinformation about vaccines. And when I looked into this, I think Spotify did it. It took him off. Neil Young's married to Daryl Hannah. Did you guys know that? Like, she used to be hot. But still, he's fucking old. He's an old man. Certain businesses are talking about closing this weekend. Yeah, that's probably smart. Because I mean like, the non-essential businesses are kind of fucked anyway, right? Like with the provincial, like we better close our doors, which isn't getting any business anyway, because people aren't going outside anyway. Like, it's just it's virtue signaling in a way, right? There's a lot of virtue signaling going on in these times, folks. I don't know if you guys have noticed. And there is no correct virtue. I haven't found the correct virtue other than the virtue of freedom, which is God-given. You know, it's God-given, right? Like, I don't know. See, I'm not vaccinated, but I'm still, like, restricting my public access. You know what I mean? I don't give a shit, really. I imagine a lot of people do, though, but I've been fairly responsible. At the starting of the pandemic, like, I wasn't that responsible, you know, because I was, like, going to Montreal, and I was going to, I went to Windsor and whatever, and was traveling a little bit. But when I realized, like, with the vaccine passports, I just, okay, fuck, well, I guess the government is actually taking this seriously, so I'll just chill out. But I don't know. Swimming pools are essential. Exercise is essential, yeah. No, Neil Young's not dead. He just, his Spotify, he requested to have all of his Spotify music taken off, which is interesting. He said he'll lose about 60% of his streaming royalties by doing this. I believe, though, is that he sold 50% of his royalties to an investment firm a while ago. So he's actually fucking over his investment. Whoever else shares in his royalties, his streaming royalties, they're getting fucked because of his virtue signaling. Sing Neil Young? I'm boycotting Neil Young. He's anti-Spotify. They pay me like half a cent every time somebody listens to me. Brampton was a safe place until I showed up. I've just been super spreading it, guys. I've just been asymptomatic this whole time. Omicron is actually my fault. It was actually somehow, I wrote that song, Meth Cures COVID, but it turns out meth mutates COVID. Maybe I got the alpha, maybe I got the delta, and then, burn, and then fucking, now we got Omicron, guys. Sorry, I really wanted to see the Canadians win the cup, but, had to, just spread my fucking Omicron or delta or I don't know. Whatever. See the latest Project Veritas. I watch that occasionally. Homeless taking 5 to 6 shots at $100 each. Oh, what state is that? What state is that? Trip to South Africa. Okay, I gotta take a piss. Okay, I'll here, just give me a second. We'll be right back. One thing I think that'll be interesting, like, what about disturbing the peace? If you're in a truck and you're driving around Ottawa, all night and day or whatever, is that not disturbing the peace? Like, I just have a feeling there's going to be a lot of charges. There's going to be there's going to be charges. I don't think this protest is going to be legal. Like, if they just park their trucks and get out and walk around, like, what the, there's going to be, like, is that not going to be like the company who owns the truck is going to face the fucking charge? And then I bet there's going to be a lot of corporate fucking fines going on. I don't know. I don't know how protests work like this. I don't know. You're here for the guitar. Conspiracy theories. Okay. Well, this whole fucking thing seems very well orchestrated. Like, somebody's orchestrating it, right? If we want to like who's going to gain from this? The news companies are gaining from this. This is a hot topic for any news outlet, Canadian news outlet. So that's advertising money for the news outlets. If the government is actually, trying to divide the public and create this type of thing, because I think it's fair to say that some of the restrictions that are going on in Canada regarding COVID are, mildly, at least bare minimum, mildly authoritarian, right? Just the coercion and that kind of thing. Mandates. It's they're telling people what to do, right? Not what not to do, but they're trying to tell people what to do. So if the Canadian democracy is actually like a facade for an authoritarian regime that is behind everything, okay, then they're just waiting to release the military on the public, right? They're gonna be like, you can't fuck around with us. So I think we're going to have like a little bit of a test, a little bit of a gauge of how authoritarian Canada actually is. I personally don't believe we're that authoritarian. I think we have like a lot of incompetent people in politics. I think we have a lot of like politicians that are out of touch with reality, perhaps, or at least focused on different aspects of reality than what was necessarily relevant. Like, I don't know. Truck twice in 1 sentence. Gonna burn all the trucks and roll out the autonomous electric trucks. Are gas prices still on the rise right now? What's the gas price in Ontario? They were fucking high. I checked them last week. Gas prices, Cornwall, Ontario. $1.42. So they haven't changed in the last week, but that's pretty high. Optimus Prime said, like, I'm just, because it's the trucks, right? It's the trucks that make this protest different from, the Australian protests or the protests that are going on in Europe or wherever they're going on worldwide, right? They don't have potentially 424 fucking, or let's just say 90 miles of fucking trucks in their protest area. I don't know how that's gonna work. If the city really wanted to stop it, they'd be smart to set up fucking blockades right now. Like block the roads to downtown from trucks. But then that would cause a fucking shitstorm. Like, what do you do? Like, okay, let's say the truckers just go there and just park, right? How the fuck are they gonna get all the trucks out of there? That's gonna be a major disruptive fucking thing. But they'll probably just start towing them out, I guess. 10,000 trucks. I don't know. Or maybe we're at the brink of a military coup. And like they're going to bring the military in. And the military's like, we don't agree with vaccines either. Let's be on the truckers' side. Or all the cops are like, yeah. Let's just be on the truckers' side. That would be dramatic. It's possible. Yeah, actually, I don't think I'll arrest you. I think I'll just, go on your side. Military coup in Canada. That's like, no. Just joking. Record highs for this weekend, like weather-wise. Yeah, fuck. Yesterday was like minus 30 and it's like minus 4 right now. Crazy. Play the diss track? It's not done. I'm only really happy with the hook and the hook and the beat. The beat's okay. I'm probably gonna finish it on my own time, just to let you guys know. I was too coked out the other night. I wasn't really in the right vibes, and that's why I didn't finish it probably as well, because I wasn't like super awake. I mean, I was awake for a long period of time, as other stimulants would provide. Your left cheek, what up? The whole thing is completely disorganized. Well, yeah, I mean, it's like I said, it started as one thing and now it's evolved into something else, right? I'm happy that people are standing up for what they believe in. You know, like my protest with the Cornwall police over the shit, even though I didn't actually protest, but like my social media protests and my artistic protests of it resulted in jack shit. And I mean, that's just me. But like, I don't know. Like, I don't, in general, I don't know if protests are the most effective way to do things. And that doesn't mean violence is the answer. Definitely not. But like, what the fuck do they expect to change? It would have to be a really big turnout. Oh, record highs for gas prices? Yeah. So they're cashing in on this. Shit ton of truckers coming to Ontario? Let's boost it. Boost it, guys. And then the government will get back, since with all that tax, they'll get back some of the money they spent on the pandemic relief. There, everybody wins. Cool. I fucking hope Captain Content comes to Canada. I want to collaborate with him. Everything you have in your home comes from a truck, right? Right, Mojo, right. Yeah. Unless you go to a farmer's market. Yeah, but where does the farmers, where do the farmers fucking equipment come from? Like, where do the seeds come from? I mean, it's their own seeds, but how did the farm get built? Where did the wood to build their house come from, or whatever? Yeah, I understand this. But it's not even about that anymore. It's not even really about the truckers not being able to work. I don't believe, because supposedly 90% of the truckers are vaccinated anyway. But they that was the spark of this, and now it's just turning into an actual protest against just mandates. It's not. It doesn't really even have to do with the truckers, I don't think. But they're the ones leading the way, supposedly. We'll see. We'll see how many people actually show up, how many trucks are actually there. Unless it's like 100-year-old farm, right? Yeah. And those would be more likely the ones at the farmer's market. You're right. Okay, the gas that they used to drive to the fucking farmer's market was also brought in by trucks. Okay. Unless they're a fucking electric car. Unless they got an electric car there. But even that electric car, even their vehicles were brought in by trucks. Right? If they're imported, they're shipped over water, I think, or air, or probably water. And then they're trucked to the dealership, right? Unless they built their fucking car themselves. Unless they're fucking refining the oil on their farm as well. I don't know. Okay, they're rolling. Yeah, they're horse and buggy. They're bringing their horse and buggy. Was actually, the Amish right now don't give a shit. They're just like, what the hell's going on out there? They probably don't even know about it. Big boat, big rear forklift, yeah. Truckers truckers could have America by the balls. If they want a massive pay increase, they could get it. Nothing could do anything. No one will take over their job. Well, right. So here's a question, right? Let's just say there's 50,000 trucks who show up in Ottawa this weekend, right? And let's just say they decide to stay for a week, okay? Would that itself not cause a shortage in the supply chain, in the food supply chain, right? Like, is that what's going on here? The truckers are concerned that the mandate is impeding the supply chain. So to solve it, they're going to further impede the supply chain willingly. That is kind of fucked up. That's not the best logic. It's like suspending a kid for skipping in school. You know what I mean? You've been skipping school. Your attendance is horrible. You need 3 days at home. That's your punishment. That never made sense to me. What up, huge ass? So, in effect, it's almost like a trucker strike. If they stay there for any prolonged period of time. Now, that is when the military might really get involved in having to help out. So like let's just say this trucker convoy resulted in an actual shortage for a prolonged period of time. The military will get involved if people can't get their food. You know what I'm saying? I believe. Big B69. I've seen sporadic emptiness. I only do my groceries at Walmart. Okay, I should do Farm Boy. It's I actually really like their deli meat and stuff. Anyway, spicy Genoa. So on a croissant, I'm gonna buy that tomorrow. So if I can't get my spicy Genoa and croissants, I'm gonna be fucking pissed. But I mean, I guess I could just buy bologna. I've yet to see a situation where like a starvation threat. I've yet to see a starvation threat. I've seen people stocking up. I've seen people like 2 carts coming out of Walmart. Again, the only real shortages I've witnessed so far was like, I think the last time I went in, I couldn't get chicken. I couldn't get regular margarine. I had to get olive oil, margarine. One time I couldn't get mustard, and around Christmas I couldn't get cheap eggs. I had to buy omega-3. It's been bad at food basics. Certain things you normally buy have been out. So do you go somewhere else then? I can see like imagine Walmart's orchestrating this whole thing. They're like, we got the best supply chain in the world with the best, truckers or whatever. We ain't fucked. We might slow down a little bit. But like food basics and the smaller grocery chains are probably more affected than like the bigger ones. I would imagine. Tommy Shaw will probably cause a supply shortage, but most people are supporting it, so it's whatever. What other choices does the government leave when they go all out authoritarian? I agree, and I agree with the. I agree with the right to protest. and anybody's right to protest. So you're right. Yeah. Tell my shot. The 90% vaccination rate. I don't know. They're including like kids in that and shit too. Anyway, like people who can't. Anyway, I don't know. Yeah, I agree. So if that's the plan, if that's the plan is to cause a shortage themselves as a play to, yeah, because it's like, I mean, who knows, right? So, you know, even 10,000 trucks, like, I don't know how many trucks are there in Canada? There's probably a lot. There's probably a lot more. I don't think every trucker is partaking in this. But yeah, this is going to be a shitstorm. And just the fact of having a large amount of massive vehicles in that area makes this different from most worldwide protests that are going against mandates. Maybe the truckers have the upper hand in this. I don't know. These truckers might be at a desperation point where they're like, well, you know, we're not making money anyway, and we can't survive anyway, so let's just, you know, do what we got to do. I don't know. A lot of questions to be answered regarding this. I'm happy to witness, you know, to see what's going to happen. Like a real large scale protest in Canada doesn't happen very often. I think we're pretty docile and clearly, you know, 90% of Canadians or whatever, you know, want the vaccine, says Justin Trudeau. Hey, you guys all wanted it. You guys wanted to be protected. We were just providing it for you. You know? I don't know. Try to claim 60% vaccination rate. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to know what information to believe. It's fair to assume that there's a lot of inaccuracies and there's a lot of exaggerations and there's agendas going on. And like I said, here in Canada, I think all of the national news outlets, CTV, Global, fucking CBC, they're all kind of like more with in the US, which would be like the mainstream media, the left leaning media or whatever, the establishment. There isn't really a Fox here or to give dissenting views on what's going on. So we are in a war, people. This is like Cold War shit, pretty much. It's not like a violent war. But we're in a war of influence. We're in a war of information. Besides being in a war against a virus, it's triple threat out there. I think most Canadians have just been optimistic that this shit will just end at some point. You know what I mean? And this Omicron shit fucked up a lot of people's optimism. I've been optimistic, but I think Canadians are getting to the point where they would just rather die. They would just not rather die, but they would rather take the risk that they might die from COVID rather than have their life ruined by authoritarian-ish regulations. I think people are like, oh, well, you know what? I still haven't even met one person with COVID, or I still haven't had a sniffle in the last 2 years. And, what's the problem? The government is 100% responsible for the misinformation, disinformation. They want it to be like this, so you just have to trust them. Yeah. And I mean, 100%, I don't think anything's 100%, but what's interesting, Tommy Shaw, is that they can also, because of social media and because of all this electronic monitoring, essentially that's going on, right? Insights and analytics, right? They know who's fucking doesn't trust them. They know exactly who doesn't trust them. They know what percent, maybe not individuals. Okay, I mean, I don't know if they go that deep, but they know what percentage of the population in Canada does not trust them because people type it into their computer, right? Like, unlock the maple. Well, that's, you know, I bet you a lot of beaver tails are going to be sold in Ottawa. If you guys don't know what beaver tails are, they're a great dessert on the Ottawa Canal, because the Ottawa Canal freezes obviously every year. So there's like, you can go ice skating on it, and they got like beaver tail shops everywhere. Hypnotic poison. Here, I'll show you. Now, and like personally, my main issue with the mandates with requiring vaccines for the purpose of immunization, for immunity, okay, is that it doesn't consider at all natural immunity or immunity derived from catching the virus itself, right? And there's plenty of studies done, I believe, that show that natural immunity is at least as good as a vaccine. You know, I'm just going by what the system says, right? So, you know, that's not really fair. If, in my opinion, if you have a natural immunity and then you're forced to take more, and then again, there's even more studies that like if you do have natural immunity, that like the fucking vaccine could be bad for you as well and shit and whatever. These are all, you know, hypotheticals, right? I'm not anti-vaccine, YouTube. Just so you know, I'm not anti-vaccine. Pro-choice. That's it. Freedom. Let's go. Your left cheek. Mind you. Okay. I don't usually do that, but Beaver, what up? Beaver tails. Okay, sorry, beaver tails. Beaver tails are like fucking, they're very good. Oh, here's a website. Let's see what they got. It like started out. It started out as just like a small little franchise, and they've grown a little bit. So here's beaver tails, guys, and so yeah, they have little shops on the canal that you can skate to, and you can have a little beaver tail on the canal. So here's what they look like. Oh, the classic. So it's like a pastry, kinda. So the classic's a sprinkle of cinnamon and sugar. Kilalo sunrise, cinnamon, sugar, slice of lemon. Chocolate hazelnut spread with a dusting of icing sugar. Banana-rama. Chocolate hazelnut spread and banana slices. Apple pie. Avalanche, cheesecake spread, score bits and caramel sauce. Triple trip. Cocoa vanille. Damn. Maple flavored spread and maple sugar crunch. No, they aren't real beaver tails. They're just shaped like a beaver tail. Strawberry cheesecake. Damn, brownie. So the beaver tails actually came to Cornwall. They might actually still be here, but they were one of the local theaters in my city called the Port. They had like a little fundraiser because they're not getting any business right now. So they brought the beaver tails people in. I didn't go get one, but they're in town. I saw some Facebook pictures. Zit food. Yeah, the Port, right, yeah. Faithless follower. Yeah, they're delicious. They really are delicious. DoorDash some freedom. Cinnamon sugar. Yeah, they're fucking good. I also I've been doing a little bit of thinking about a show that I might put on if this pandemic dies down. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to rent a hotel. There's this hotel. It's a hotel in my city, but they have some pretty nice hotel rooms. There's one in particular that I've rented out before, which is like an amazing party room, but it needs a little bit warmer weather, because they have like an outdoor patio. Maybe not even, I might be able to do it in spring or whatever, but they have an outdoor patio with fucking barbecue. They have kitchen. Like and I've held a party in these. I think it's like $400 a night for this room, but I think I'm going to organize something when that happens. It'll just be a free show, and just invite people that I know. Like, I've had 50 to 75 people in this room before, so it's pretty good. It's pretty good for a party. So I think that's what I'm going to do at some point. But yeah, pandemic restrictions will have to not be in play. Can I blow you a kiss? Joe Shipley. Yeah, and that'll give me a gauge to see if I can actually, still rock a party, I guess. I'll probably get some other acts. To do it. But it's a really, and I'll stream it, obviously. So that and like, I've just been planning it. I'll fucking show you, because I would actually inform the cops in my city that I'm having this party, just in case you motherfuckers try to call on me or something like that. I'll let them know. I know they don't like me, but they still got to protect me, right? So, just to give my heads up. But I'll show you the room here. Your left cheek. Okay. So here, I'll show you guys. This room is fucking sick. Okay, so one king size bed, blah, blah, blah. Retreat style bathroom. Oh, the bathroom's sick. Full boardroom with 8 leather chairs. Comfortable leather seating, kitchenette, full-size refrigerator, sink and dishes, high-top bar style kitchen seating, in-room gas fireplace, fully screened private outdoor patio with table and seating area, large television, blah, blah, blah. So here's just one little look. This is the bedroom. This is just the bedroom. It's one bedroom. And this door goes out here. There's the bathroom. Here, we'll check the bathroom out. Sick walk-in fucking thing. Shower. Here, wait, I'll make it full screen. So there's one bedroom. It's like this cool little room in here where you can just chill as well. So there's a little spot. So me and my buddy, there was a Christmas where I used to work at Sigma Point Electronics. There was a Christmas party every year. So me and my buddy just decided to split the cost of the room and fucking have the after party in the room. So what we did is we bought a few cases of beer, maybe like 6 cases of beer, filled the fucking fridge. We set up little fucking containers of weed or bowls of weed around the room so people could just go and pick weed and like fucking, but I wasn't performing it at that time. I really too much as MC Frosty, more focused on my job. So here's that. This is a little room. Then it goes over here. Yeah, we had right over here like little weed fucking things. So there's the outside patio, fridge, kitchen. I believe there's a little room. Yeah, there's this little room this little area right here has cool lighting and shit at night. There's one TV. So likely what I would do, rare TV, fireplace, Likely what I would do is I would perform right off this fucking table right here, bud. This would be my stage. Boom. No, I'm just saying for the future, like whenever the weather warms up, I'd like to hold a private party here and perform at it in this exact room. But I have in the past, because I've rented this in the past. It was like $400 a night or something, and because I've rented this in the past, I know it's awesome. Like you can have like just outside here. This is outside. This is outside. Do they have the barbecue? There was a barbecue over here before, but this whole thing right up to like the fence or whatever or I don't even know. Anyway, it's a sick room for a fucking party. Is all I'm saying. And they're cool. They're cool with like 50 to 75 people being there, because that's what I've had before. Yeah, something like that. I think that is that the barbecue over there. I don't know. But just have a fucking party, a ripper. Maybe get some kegs or something. I don't know. We'll see. That's the plan, though. That's just something I'm looking into. It would be a few months away. And you know what I mean? Like, put chat right up here. Put chat right up here so that you guys can be like talking to people as they walk by the camera, or like have multiple cameras, multiple streams. I don't fucking know. However we want to do that. Have TTS on the fucking system or something. You know, there's a lot of ways I can involve you guys in the party as well. Have a big barbecue or whatever. Whatever, bud. Fly out for 1K. That would be sick. If you guys showed up to the party. Oh my god, that'd be amazing. Yeah, it's like a penthouse. It's at this place. Nav is called NavCan or Nav Center. It's the best room in the place. The Bernier Suite. It really is an awesome room to party in. Yeah. Well, I actually looked into this a couple years ago, Faithless Follower, and at the time they weren't renting this room. So I just looked into it within the last couple weeks, and I know, because I was like, oh, well, what other rooms do they have then? I was just thinking of looking at getting another room. I'm like, maybe they did construction on this and cut it in half or something, but no, it's the same fucking room. So I just think they just went a period when they weren't renting it out. And maybe it had to do with the pandemic or something. I don't know. But now it is available. So, yeah. Roblop Jones. So, yeah. It's decent, especially in the summer or whatever. See, what's cool is I could do it in the winter, or I could do it in because we did it in December before. So what they actually have, I'll just put this back in the outdoor patio area. Fucking heaters right up here. So even if it is winter, people in the patio can stay fucking warm. Those are heaters. Pretty fucking cool lights. It really is quite extravagant. And like the best part of a hotel is you don't have to clean up afterwards. Because some douchebag came to the last party and he started fucking dancing on the fucking table and whatever, which is fine. But then he started spilling popcorn everywhere. We brought like popcorn wherever, and he was just like spilling it everywhere. So there was like a shit ton of popcorn on the fucking on the floor the next day, and I'm just like, oh shit. But the maids didn't mind at all. They're like, we've seen worse. We're like, whoa, cool. Shrooms, weed, and beer. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to make a guest list probably and invite specific people. Like, it wouldn't be like, oh, call your buddies over to the party or something. I don't know how I would do it. I don't know like, hopefully these fucking restrictions die down. I know there isn't as much restriction on like a private party than there is if I was like renting a hall and charging a fee for people to get in. There's more restrictions on that shit right now. Or there has been more restrictions on that type of shit than just having a private party. But even like right now, I think you can only have 5 or 10 people at a private party. Like, that's the law right now. I think it's 5 people actually. I think they're raising it to 10 people January 31st, I think. Or maybe they just raised it. I don't fucking know. Maybe they just changed it. But it's either 5 or 10 people you can have at a party in Ontario right now, which is fucking bullshit. And that's not going to change till after February, at least, unless they. I just saw an article that like there's like a record high of Omicron deaths in Ontario or something right now. I don't even fucking know, man. It's fucking crazy. But and you can be loud in this fucking place too. There's like a bar. There's a bar at this place too. So like if people wanted to like just leave the party and go to the bar for a few drinks or whatever, they can literally like walk through this area here. And I think the bar is like around over here or something like that. It's pretty fucking cool. Fuck yeah. I did shrooms last time I was in this hotel room. I did them like after, when people were leaving the party is when I popped them, and I think I just ended up passing out. Big shock. But yeah, it's fantastic. So yeah, guys, I don't know. I just want to come on tonight and kind of just discuss this trucker convoy since it is making national news. I think it's interesting. I think it's interesting anytime Canadians, demonstrate a spine. Demonstrate a spine, I guess. I'm not one of those people. I'm spineless. And like I said, I don't believe it's going to change anything. If it does, that's going to be a fucking bad precedent for the future. For the authoritarian regime that is in power in Canada right now, they're just out of principle, they're not going to give in to this. You know what I mean? Even if it was like, I don't know, something like extremely virtuous that they were doing or something like. I mean, it is pretty virtuous what they're doing. I'm curious to see like, if there's going to be like infiltrators, you know what I mean? If there's going to be like just people out there like trying to make the protest go violent, you know what I mean? Like, what are they, instigators or infiltrators or something? Or what are they called? Say a curse word. Fuck. Bigfoot, what up? So yeah, as far as the diss track, I'm likely gonna finish it on my own. I don't know if it's the hook. I like the hook. I like the beat. I don't really know if I'm saying the right things in the verses. It's kind of funny. I don't need to say that much though. We'll see what happens, but I'm probably gonna get on that myself very soon. I like the other night I was coked out, okay, and it affected the whole fucking production. It was fine for the first 6 hours that I made the beat, and then like after that I was just like, I was kind of losing it. So coke does not have the same effect on me as amphetamines or methamphetamines when I'm producing music. Like I would have likely finished that song if I was on meth that day, but I wasn't. So which is, I'm actually trying to do less drugs, just so you guys know. I'm I'm trying to, including weed and cigarettes. I'm trying to slowly reduce that. It's like wean off a bit. So I don't know. Fuck. Yes, Magic Mush. That's one thing. I definitely need to get more angry in the bridge. And I was listening to it. I listened to it for the first time today. So I slept the whole next day. That was a 14-hour stream. I slept the whole fucking next day almost. And then I was just thinking about some parts, like replaying. I'm like, fuck, some of that shit was pretty cringe. And today was the first time that I listened to it I was cringing. I was cringing when I was listening to it, except for the hook. So and it was mostly my vocal tone. It was like this. I was like, this isn't rap. I was like, this is just me talking almost. Like, this is just me like, might work. I sounded pretty simpy, which is a good thing for that song. I sounded very simpy. So like my cadence and my tone. It was natural born or natural instinctual simp cadence is I think what came out of me that day. But yeah, and I got to clean up some of the audio. So I thank you. But I do want it to hit hard. So we'll see what happens. Okay. So yeah, I mean, I just pretty much want to talk about this convoy stuff with you guys. Anybody who's not paying attention to it, I think it's worthy just to see a Canadian protest. And also, again, I feel just due to the stereotype and the stigma of truckers, and their history of long having to stay awake for long periods of time. I believe there is a meth. There's going to be some methed out truckers. There's got to be some methed out truckers in this protest. Like there has to be, maybe not meth, but maybe like trucker beans, some type of stimulant. There's got to be, if there's 10,000 trucks, there's got to be at least 1% of truckers got to be methed out. And honestly, probably the leaders of this whole fucking thing are methed out. But you know what I mean? Like, I don't think the trucking thing is the trucking convoy is like a good idea. I don't think it's a good idea. I think it's great that people are, exercising their right to protest. But I don't, as far as a good idea in terms of expecting results, I don't believe they're going to change one goddamn thing at this exact second. Maybe they will make enough impact so that future decisions will be affected. Like maybe it will be like, it'll be like it'll be a nuisance, big nuisance for the city. And maybe that will play a factor like, well, we don't want these truckers to come back now, do we? We don't want these truckers to come back. I think the truckers are going to break some laws in terms of noise bylaws, in terms of disturbing the peace, in terms of inhibiting traffic, in terms of, a lot of nonviolent stuff. But I think there's going to be, charges. I think there's a very low chance it's going to get violent. And I don't think it's going to result in an insurgency or anything like that. I think that's completely ridiculous. But all it is going to take is like a few motherfuckers to fuck that whole protest up. I kind of want to go just to see it. But we'll see about that. Maybe. Because I could go and get a phone tomorrow if I wanted to, and get myself on a plan that I'd be under contract for. I've discussed it already with my buddy who works at a cell phone company. I could do that, and we could get IRL back on it. And I could find somebody to drive me up there. But that's just going to be a fucking shitstorm to get around, I believe. But there's public transit there too. I don't know. I don't think I want to go and get involved in that. I think but maybe I'll stream like the footage that's going on. Well, let me think about this. I don't know. All right, guys, I'm gonna end the stream. Thank you very much for tuning in, MC Frosty. I hope the protest goes peacefully. You know what I mean? I hope it goes the way they want it to. I don't even know what are they actually hoping? Whatever. I'm okay with either way the cookie crumbles. I'll live with it. But and just for entertainment purposes, I hope it devolves into a fucking shit show. I hope like not violence. I don't know what a shit show involved. Like, meth protest. I don't know. Thank you, Nog Poison. Thanks, Magic Mush. All right, guys, have yourselves a good night. And guys, if you were looking for a good movie, I just watched it. Watch Uncut Gems with Adam Sandler. Holy fuck, that movie was good. And my stomach was turning the entire movie. I was like, oh. And I don't think it was fucking like diarrhea or COVID or anything like. But that's a really good movie. All right, guys, I'm out. Thank you very much. Have yourselves a good night. Later.